This is a ticket to the party.
Evening, boys. First service. You gotta love Mohammed.
Oh! That is a moment of absolute magic from Federer.
It's Murray magic, though.
Djokovic, what are you doing?
He's got quite a large gluteus maximus.
Welcome back to Loosely Strung Tennis Podcast. We are here and we are praying that Pricey can put away the vape for the final time.
Yeah.
For those watching on YouTube, Pricey isn't actually fuzzy, he's just been blowing vape smoke into the camera for the last 10 minutes. So hopefully that clears so you can see him pretty soon. But no, boys, we're back. We've obviously missed a week. Not the worst week to miss. Usually after a Grand Slam, you're like, okay, let's get on the podcast. But every Grand Slam, especially on the men's side, was absolute bollocks, in my opinion. One of the worst slams I've probably ever watched, which isn't great for the future going forward. I'm sure we'll save it with all these young stars coming up, but yeah, it was pretty pish. Obviously, we'll talk about the women's in a minute, but the men's, I'd say after maybe the second round and the upset stopped, I just found it pretty dull, except from Alcaraz Djokovic. But then Djokovic having to pull out after.
It started so strong.
It had a great start. It did have a great start, and then it sort of dipped a wee bit.
Because it was kind of en route to be like an all-timer. The way we were seeing things go, Djokovic's wee backstory, firing through the rounds, everything was looking like, wow, here we go.
Was that the side doing this the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Murray celebrating more for Novak's performances than he ever did for himself.
Yeah.
It's just so Andy Murray.
But yeah, it was
good.
I found it a tough, like that. Even though I'm obviously in Melbourne and can go, I went a few times, but like towards the end, I was actually just like, this is boring, which is terrible to say.
It was a bit predictable.
Like,
it just became a bit predictable, didn't it? Sinner, I think you said it before. I know. You said it before. Sinner's just he's levels ahead at the moment, but he's levels ahead. And I mean, fair play to him. He's an amazing player, right? But it's not like when Federer was levels ahead and you would still watch it and go, oh, this is beautiful. It's like the shot making and stuff.
Yeah.
It just feels a little bit like he's got a brilliant backhand, brilliant forehand, brilliant serve, greater than that. It's just a bit mundane to watch sometimes.
I think the reason you say that is because, like, even when Federer was unbelievable, he was still playing against players that were also unbelievable and making them look childish. Whereas I'm not saying that Zverev and stuff isn't unbelievable because they're some of the best players ever, but like I feel like Sinner has levels to go up, and the only two people that actually bring him to that level is Djokovic and Alcaraz. And everyone else, like, he doesn't even need to get out of like third gear. It's just pish. Like it's like playing a Sunday morning match at your club. You know what I mean? Pricey, the ones you usually pull out of and don't show up to.
That is different. I just read the dates wrong.
Yeah, you were going to
Pricey sign up to hit with 5 60-year-old men and then getting the date wrong is horrendous. Like, what a letdown of a guy, man.
I know, they must have been buzzing as well.
That is a Sunday morning hit. It's been every Sunday morning for I don't know how long, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll join it tomorrow on Friday night.
Date wrong.
Since before we were born, it's been Sunday.
Because I had a rare Friday night not on the drink. I was like, right, I'm going to be sober tomorrow for Sunday. And then I was like, shit, it's only Friday. So I was like, yeah, I'll play tomorrow, thinking tomorrow was the Sunday. I'm aware it was a Sunday morning hit.
Okay.
So you took one day off drink, lost track of total days, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and then I got a real fright and decided to just go back on it on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I doing? But no, as I said before earlier, the women's probably saved it. I was actually in a little winery.
That'll suit you, you whiny bastard.
Just be careful with the action you're doing there. I'd maybe do that as an action rather than that.
I don't think we've gone a podcast this year without someone doing something like that.
Yeah.
And Ross B goes,
I know, I'm on the ball with it. I know, I'm on the ball with it.
He gets excited.
He loves it.
I don't know. I love it. So it's like, oh, I love that action. I really love that action.
You are right though, Cal. It was saved by the ladies. Which,
talking
again,
more of a match and the actual
for those of you who tuned into The Price is Right, my first controversial point was the ladies carried. Well, no, they didn't carry. They they evolved more last season. Not evolved. What's the right word for it? You know what I mean? I can't remember what I said exactly, but I
I
said
think it's with the tour being.
it was a better
Yeah.
year tour than
Yeah.
it was for the men. Like the men was
And
mundane,
it started off
we-
the exact same way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm all for it. I know through the years, through the year we've done it. I've been, we play that kind of, I don't watch it. Fair fucks them, batter on, and it can only be positive for the sport for stuff like this to happen. And good on Madison Keys, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolute all-timer run as well. All-timer run. Well, not even beating Sabalenka. It's beating. Who did she beat on the way to that? She beat Sabalenka. Was in the final. She beat Swiatek. Who else
Boring.
did she beat? She beat like two others.
No, the match with Swiatek was honestly like one of the best tennis matches I've watched.
I just mean Swiatek,
especially on the women's side. Like it was fucking unreal. Like going obviously to a champs tiebreak at the end.
Yeah,
proper.
That's what you want.
Drama, man. Yeah,
it's just what you want.
Drama, and it was so good. And then obviously going to beat Sabalenka. People moaning at Sabalenka for smashing a racket. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut up. That's people who don't play sport.
You've never played any high-level sport?
Yeah.
Never played any high-level sport, mate. I went into a tennis club here the week after, and there's like a women's hit on a Thursday morning, and you could hear them all sitting there, and they're all like in their 50s and 60s, mega minted, and they're like, it's an absolute disgrace that she would smash a racket. I was like, it's like, you guys throw your racket when you lose like points in a fucking women's comp on a Thursday. You're moaning at her for losing a slam and smashing one racket. Like, fuck off.
Tight slam as well. 6-5 in the third, you're serving, and then you lose it. It's different from like you're 5-3 down and they're serving for it. You're still really, really. Obviously, you're fighting every point every time, but to be serving it and then
the way
happen.
Keys, like you're saying, Rossby, like obviously said, yeah, you're right. It was a fight. The way Keys won it, and I can't remember what player it is. It was either Del Potro or Stan Wawrinka. Who was it that had like the ultimate hard run to a tournament when he beat Nadal, Fed, and Djokovic in a tournament?
No, Bandian.
Oh, isn't someone like Del? Okay. But I would say, other than people who have come like through qualifying and stuff like your Raducanu, is that the hardest run to a slam on paper?
Easy.
I
think
so.
Up there, 100% up there.
I honestly think Madison Keys probably had one of the toughest runs. Ever.
She had no easy draw either. Like it was. I don't just mean the big players she beat. Like she didn't get any real diddies from what I remember.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
She done amazing.
The women's final. If you compare the women's to the men's final, the women's final looked like a fight. It looked like both of them. It should be a given that they both think they can win it. Mm-hmm. You watch Sinner's Zverev's body language the whole time was like, nah, I can't win this. So then you're like, what's the point in me watching it?
Because he was in the strippers out here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was okay.
I'd never win a slam if there was strippers out. Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason I've never gone further in tennis is because of 7-7 just up the road.
I think he's completed the stripper slam as well. So.
Yeah, I've done the calendar slam, and it's only the 1st of
February. Right, I know obviously you're talking about the women having a fight there, which leads us on perfectly to what we really want to talk about today. The fucking scraps this week in the Davis Cup.
Bang. Kapow.
I've not seen this. I've been fully locked in the Royal Rumble in WWE, so I've been away from this. So please tell me the stories, what's happened, because I'm really...
Okay.
I have no idea what's happened.
Do you want to go first with yours, and then I'll talk about
I'll give my take of it. So basically, they both drop their rackets, take their tops off, and just start scrapping, Rossby. And honestly, I've never seen anything like it, mate. And mate, it was no, obviously not. You fucking idiot.
Come on.
It was close. It was Christian Garin against
Bergs.
Zizou Bergs.
So Bergs won. I don't know if he broke or held to go 6-5 in the deciding set. So he broke to go 6-5 in the deciding set, and he ran from the baseline, sprinting back to his bench like to sit. And Garin was trying to come through the net as well, and he just elbowed him, like shouldered. He didn't do it on purpose, but he just ran through him.
Well, through the gap between the net and the umpire. That gap between
right in front of the umpire.
Yeah,
and Garin flies down to the deck. And then, obviously, tennis being so PC, you don't see any of it. And then Garin's eye is all swollen up. He has to get a medical timeout. And then Chile are calling for a default going, well, he's fucking, I can't play on, I'm medically, I can't play. Yeah, so they didn't default him, and then Garen's like, I'm not playing, and he went, so he got 3, because he was serving, got 3 time violations, and that meant he lost the match. So he lost the last game on time violations for refusing to play because he'd just been assaulted.
So the guy who assaulted him didn't
won the match.
So he didn't get any punishment at all in the match.
No, they saw it.
It
happened in front of the umpire, and they just let it roll.
That's unbelievable. That
I love tennis. We're so back.
Zizerbergs is not small, right? And he's crunched Christian Garen. And do you know what? Get it right up him, because I've got a story about Christian Garen.
Okay. You've hit that.
I was feeling bad for this guy, but hit us with this story.
Because he was out in South Yarra, and they came up to Beth and offered to buy her drinks.
Oh, okay. So he's hit on your better half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for Zizou Beggs here.
How the hell are we still pals?
I know. I don't know if I've got any mates. So yeah, he went up and offered to buy her drinks, and she was like, "No." And I was
sure.
Like, well, I wasn't there, but I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah,
no,
nice, but supposedly he said to her, he was like, "Oh, but I just played in the Australian Open," and she was like, "What?" And she doesn't care. And he was like, "But like, I made the 4." I'm sure he said something like, "I made the semi-final of Wimbledon a few years."
Yeah.
Wait, did we not watch him?
Probably.
Wait, no.
But I was just
we got centre court tickets. Did we not watch him against?
Nah, we watched.
Who's the Argentinian boy?
Echeverry. Maybe it was.
We watched him versus Echeverry. We got last 2 games.
It was not Zeballos. It might have been Garen. I thought it was Zeballos.
I think it was.
It was anyway.
But
I mean, that's obviously really nice that your girlfriend's obviously really loyal.
Zizou Bergs has jumped in the air celebrating, right? And he's fucking legged it, like genuinely, mate, like the fastest this guy's ever ran. Like, imagine you going full pelt. How can you stop? Christian Garen's not even looking. He walks round.
I am fast as well.
Bangs on.
I'm trying to think of an example. It's like Ross Peters, me versus Jack McShane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Jack
it's
McShane
that
is
size
also a
difference.
90-year-old man that plays at a pub. He was 4 foot tall. So yeah, it was
used to be 6 foot
blow.
tall. Yeah, no, it was incredible, but it did sort of make us think: have you seen any like superb? We always talk aggro, but like actual fights on a tennis court.
What physical?
You ever had a shoulder barge going round the other side?
No. I've had a passive aggressive tap on the stomach saying, "Oh, you're doing well. You're doing okay." You know, losing.
That was Gary.
It was fucking Gary. It was Gary.
It wasn't me. It was Gary.
Semi-final. I got a fucking. We're losing like 6-3, something like that, and it's my first semi-final in a while. And we changed the net, and he taps you on the stomach. Goes, "It's okay, mate. You're doing okay." I'm like, "Fuck." Imagine your opponent doing that to you, though. No, imagine your opponent doing that.
I think you were 40 love up and hit 4 double faults.
No. I've never hit 4 double faults in my life. I'm way too consistent.
It was something after that. We were looking at each other going, "Is this nasty to beat him?"
No, it's because also I'd hit a serve. I'd hit a serve in, right? And it would be like an okay serve, and Pricey was hitting head to it. And he would just go, "Oh, great serve, amazing serve, Ross Pete, amazing, great serve." I'm like, I just fucking just rolled it into you, and he's like, "Oh no, it's an amazing serve, it's amazing." Yeah, exactly. So face.
Do you know what else happened in that match, Ross? Jeez. Do you remember what happened in that match where you rolled it, you hit a serve in, and it was close. It could have been in or out. Apparently, it wasn't. It was quite far out. Apparently, and I called it out, but I screamed a forehand right past Craig Williams' head.
Yeah.
And he didn't talk to me for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Because it was like really far out, and you fucking nailed a Pricey forehand to the back fence. And it has
just
no
out.
Trajectory. It just has a straight bullet trajectory. It just goes straight through the air. And it just zips by.
Pricey's tagged me. He's tagged me with a few.
I don't think I have.
Forehands.
You got everyone says this to me, but you've always got a racket on it.
But you've there's been a few that have been. Oh my fuck!
See, like controversial opinion, right?
Mark's second serve, and you've just banged. And for me, I have no issue with it because that's the sport.
Me neither. Me neither.
That's the sport. And I know obviously I play with Mark. Mark will be like, "That's disgusting to play like that.
I love it. It's so many weeks in a row Mark's got fucking leathered on this podcast.
It's as if he's standing at the net in this podcast.
Yeah,
Bang.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
getting just a regular ball
Mate,
at him.
but I don't know why players on tour don't do it more. Just fucking scalp the guy then.
But think about the standard of volleying though. They'll be
Yeah.
training standing with their toes against the net, getting balls
Yeah, just
fired
going
at them. Yeah, like just standing bang, bang, bang. Like I think it's such an easy way to lose a point as well, because I know if I scream a forehand at Callum and he gets it over, I'm done. I'm not getting it. Like I've got to hit a winner.
Sometimes it is really scary though, man. When you see
I can't imagine me bearing
you
down
get
on
that
the net.
anger in your eyes, right? You get that. You can tell you're like kind of talking to yourself a little bit. You're like, say to yourself like, "He's a fucking wanker, man." I know you're doing it, and then you sit there and Mark misses a first serve, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh no."
And I'm just like, "Oh shit, here we go, man." And I've just stood there. I've got the racket, and I'm like, "Please just hit it out. Please just hit it out, man." And you can just see this ball, like it's definitely hitting like 3 fences behind me, but it's coming straight for my head first, man. Fucking terrifying. Terrifying.
You probably find some of my forehands near your flat.
Yeah. Rossby, so there was another fight in tennis this week as well. And it was Arthur Fils. He was playing, I don't know how to say his name properly. It looks like Sabot Wild.
Sabot Wild, I think
Sabot
it is.
Field or something like that. So basically it's break point to Arthur Fils to go 5-3 up, I think. And his advantage. And Brazilian boy serves, comes at, hits a forehand, comes in, and it's like a short ball, and Arthur Fils canes it, right? And it flies straight out the court, and the umpire's like, "Oh, it touched his racket." And he's going fucking nuts. He's like, "There's no way it fucking touched my racket." And he turns to Arthur Fils and he's like, "You know it didn't touch my racket, like, be honest." And Arthur Fils is like, "I didn't see it." And then the match finishes, they're on each other, like getting held back, like genuinely like WWE getting held back. They're like fucking each other's face, like racket bags on the floor, they're like head to head, shouting at each other, and they're like proper trying to be can push their chest.
Two big blokes as well.
Yeah,
like I think that
blokes, man.
Sabot Wild's got a bit of history, we'll just say, which all came out when he had that good run at the French Open when he beat Medvedev. Obviously, we don't want to go into that. But Arthur Fils is a fucking unit. He's just solid. Yeah.
Are these?
So that was like a potential scrap.
Are these happening on the back of? Well, it's on the back of, isn't it? Could be linked to it, but it's home and away ties again, isn't it? In the Davis Cup.
Yes.
For the first time in a while, and then suddenly you've got like scrap. So it just.
The way it should be, man.
Emotions
How
are heightened.
interesting
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
100%.
Like, 100%. We've done a podcast solely on the fact that there's fights in tennis.
Yeah, I think that's important for people to know. We obviously took a week off. Then after that, you kind of lose your schedule. I sent a message in at 3:00 today.
Oh, boys, I'm sorry, I know. I film. Sorry, Liz, I film a podcast outside, and across the road, a maybe 4-year-old kid has just somersaulted off a bike from hitting a curb.
Unreal. Tell the cat, get the angles right.
I can't.
Is that you being framed?
Have you ever seen that video?
I just saw it in my eyes. Just 2 feet just went.
Is he alright? Aye, is he fine?
Shut up, Ross P. Who cares?
He's crying.
That's fine. If he's crying, he's alright. If he's making a noise, he's fine.
Oh, that's going to be a reaction gif.
Yeah.
Right, Tracy, what were you saying? Home and away ties.
Fuck knows what I was saying.
There's fights in tennis. And your message at 3:00 today, you said you put a message.
Oh yeah, we basically just went, let's do a podcast because this mental thing's happened. Callum woke up an hour ago and went, let me charge my phone and we'll do it.
Yeah.
This is going to be called the Leastly Organised podcast instead of loosely organised.
Loosely organised.
Right. Fights on tennis courts. What's your best?
You ain't coming out well in this one.
No, I'm coming out terrible.
Yeah, you scumbag.
I mean, you're trying to tell me you're coming out well in this.
Hey, a man defends his honour.
See, you are the fucking worst, man. Nah,
no, I don't fight.
I know we always hit Mark McGrath, but his fights on court with opposition teams are fucking 10-10s. They're like 10 out of 10, man. That's
he
not
serious?
in the rule book.
Is he serious?
Does he think he can do that?
Everyone just hates us because we're a small club.
Oh, Oh yeah, got to travel an hour to get here.
We've had
The
I'll
best
never
I've ever
forget.
seen.
One of the Mark McGrath ones I'll never forget was I'd just been invited to play with the boys in the first team. And I was I wouldn't say I was nervous because I've never been nervous, but I was like, oh, how's this going to go? Went down there. It was a kind of one of those days where it just dried up after a really wet day, so the balls were heavy after the warm up. Mark McGrath had a new racket. I'm not going to say exactly what Callum said to him, but he made a comment about how the racket looked. Mark picked up this soaking wet ball that we hadn't been hitting with, and he scudded Callum right in the middle of the back. Like, unbelievable shot, because Callum was running away from him by the time he was picking up, and he fucking melted him with it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to fit in here. This is okay.
I've got a belter one when a tournament at home. Two guys, I won't mention the names, but rhymes with Grim Frying and Gris Gray.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I have no idea who you're on about.
Just rhyme it.
Jim and Chris. And they played a match
Chris?
once. This is Chris Fay.
RVD.
Played a match once, and they actually fought on court. I fought Matilda's first court. The lights were getting low just before we had floodlights put in, and one of the guys was like, "I'm not playing," and he was just set down. And Alan was like, "We finished the match now. There's a game left in this." And he was 6-5 up or something, and they actually got to the net, and they were both had each other's throat like that.
That's terrible. That's just not what you want to see in a tennis court.
Yeah, not at all.
Everyone
It's a shame that there's no footage of that. Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Fights on tennis court are amazing. It makes it so interesting. Like, I've played plenty of matches where you play against guys and they're right at the net shouting at you, and I think it's the best. The best part of the
A wee
sport.
bit of needle. So anything's a wee bit
I
of
think
needle.
actually, maybe it's an
helps.
unpopular opinion, and this is why I do it. I do it for all your benefits. I think it makes you a better player to get over, like, to not be scared of that. It's going to sound ridiculous, and this is just out of nowhere, and like, it's going to sound a lot more deep than it really is. I used to remember, see, when you were like as a junior and stuff, see if you were ever absolutely not pumping someone, or if, like, I don't know how to explain it. If they faked an injury or something, you would always be like overly nice to them.
Yeah.
Like, because you're worried they're going to be like, that's such a dick move. Fucking.
Yeah.
I
So you
think
feel
to
off
get
the
over the
pedal.
fact of, see that book that's going around at the moment, the courage to be disliked. That should be my fucking book. Like,
I like that.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, mate, it's important. Like, you know my favourite part of tennis is, see, when you're in a fucking tight match, see when you're against teams that are like, every time they win a point, high five, come on, and then in your face, like, yes, come on, right? And then, like, say you play a big point and you win it, and say that you win a chance tiebreak and you turn it in and you've not done one come on the whole time you win it, you're just like, come on. And then you know it's just a base that's like, fuck you across the
Nah, I don't do that. I'm not into that.
See if you're playing a team though, or someone. Probably more happening doubles. First of all, what the fuck is that noise? Callum,
Yeah,
is that
like a snake that talks or something? What is that?
Yeah, what is that animal noise?
Can you not hear that, Callum?
It's like
Because he's got his earphones in, he can't. There's a bird like going ha
it's
ha
a really
behind
weird
you.
noise.
Oh, it's the birds here.
Yeah, but it's like they sound like they're like getting nasal problems. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think they've just got a Aussie accent.
Yeah. But see if you're playing a team, and they're doing your nothing like that, right? And they're like over celebrating every point or whatever. Yeah. If they're over celebrating a point, and you're playing this team. If you get a smash on top of the net or a smash, are you trying to aim away from them, or are you ever in a moment where you're like, I'm gonna fucking nail this guy? Feet. Never a moment where you're like, I'm gonna nail him.
Always feet.
I'm gonna hit the feet. Yeah.
Smashing the ground every time.
When I cross at the net, and I cross basically every point, so I'm just fucking sprinting from side to side. Every time I get on that ball, I'm trying to hit the net player.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Take time away from them. Always the best. You know what I love doing though? See when you've got such an easy ball on the top of the net and they're serving, and you hit the ball away at a horrible angle, so they have to go and get it. That's just peak. That's what I hated about playing one this season. I didn't win very many matches, but you don't get much of a chance to be an arsehole because there's always a fence right next to you.
Mate, I played a guy on Saturday, total wanker, right? Every time, see, he was serving. It was obviously really hot, so I understand. But every time he was serving, and they only play with 2 balls out here, right? So you have half a
what
kind of balls. Yeah. So no one gets more than a match has 2 balls.
It's a bit fucking cheap.
Right.
That is stinking.
Yeah.
Why have you never mentioned that?
Yeah.
That is horrible.
So, say
least three, but, like-
he's missed the first serve, and then we've played the second serve and we played the point, and I hit the serve over to him. When the ball got to him, he would hit it away into the corner of the court, and he would just walk at 1 mile an hour over to the corner of the court.
You
while I was
used
just
to do
waiting in the
that
40 degrees
when you were losing?
and I'd be like, mate, please hurry up. And he would come back and he would bounce, and he'd look up at the sky, and I was just like, this is killing me here, man. But he was obviously just being a wanker about it. It's just like, come on.
You got to respect it at the end.
Mate, you've got to respect sometimes to win, you have to be the bad guy, man.
I've never, to be fair, I've never seen Ross P lose his head, other than you went through this like 3-week period when you must have smashed about 6 rackets. But I've never actually seen
Perth, he was on, like, see, what's that song the guy sang with the suicide hotline number? What was that?
Oh.
What was that song
I don't know.
called?
I don't know a song for it.
Nah. The song, what was it called?
You've lost me.
Was it Lil Uzi Vert or something like that? And he sang the...
Well, I think that might have...
men's,
I don't think that was totally self-reflected. I don't know who his partner was that day, but I could just remember his partner always
Nah,
turned
to
around
be
going,
fair, mate, I can hold my hands up and say sometimes I can be a nightmare, but I could have done nothing that day. I was actually I was just laughing.
Yeah, I know, because you were actually, because I was expecting, like, see, if I look back on that match from how I played, I knew it was so bad that Callum was actually pretty friendly on the court, because it was like so bad that you can't do anything about it. It wasn't like 1 or 2 points I've missed, and you're like, oh fuck's sake,
the first point was the best.
Oh.
What happened?
Because we're playing on that it was like the bounciest hard court.
Oh, it's horrible court.
It was rubber.
Yeah, it was a rubber court. It like bounced over your head.
The first serve, Ross P on the forehand side, there's like, good game, lads, good game. Yeah, cheers. And I was like, come on, Ross, let's do this. Guy hits a kick serve, first serve, and it bounces over the top of Ross P, and he just does this.
I knew as soon as that happened, and I've got a single hand backhand as well.
I just buckled laughing. I was like, oh fuck, man.
So,
do you remember we were up there going, it's a mission to get to Perth, but they'll be shite?
Yeah, we weren't expecting
semi-finals.
Yeah, I know. It's because we played Alcaraz.
Like,
there's a guy who was a spitting image of Alcaraz. He had the same mannerisms. He looked exactly like him. He was unreal. But that day was not just my worst tennis performance. I think it could be the worst of all time in terms of like that level of like you're playing
except
a match and
one,
you play
one
okay.
Incredible point.
What? Yeah, thank you for remembering that, because I was going to.
Everyone in the
bring it
club
up.
was like, "Fuck, the guy can actually play." It's
unbelievable. That's the thing. It was like that's why I think it's like the worst, because if you could play a little bit and you have that, but you have that low level, that is like the worst of all time, because you think, what is actually going on here?
And it was
amazing.
It was a terrible place to go, Ross, being to have a bad day just with the state of the courts and how good they were.
Exactly.
But it was one of the best nights I've ever had.
Oh, they were so fun.
It ended well. It ended okay. Yeah, there was a good ending to the night.
That was
the main reason.
Do you think we could enter Fort Matilda into the Australian Cup and come out and have a night out?
That was the main reason for going. That was the main reason. We had an overnight in Perth.
Terrible away tie.
Yeah, terrible. But it was the main reason was for a night out. Basically, that's how we treated it. But the actual on court stuff was fucking terrible.
I think a lot of the time when you play doubles as well, obviously not on tour, but for us, the arguments and the fights are actually with your partner, especially with mine and Price's. There's a lot of... Actually, I've watched Ross Skinner scrap on court a few times with his own partner. I've watched Roy Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah. Skinner gets away with being a pure resident nice guy on here. He's actually a prick.
He's a wanker, man.
Nah, I think as well because what we play.
Terrible.
I think what we play is so like intimate. We play each other when we train. We play each other in fun tournaments. We play each other in the leagues together. We play against each other in local tournaments. Everything is so. We're all in group chats together. It's toxic, and I love it.
It's so toxic. It's the best thing ever, man.
It's open season for everything because we're all so close with it all. It's like you can pretty much say whatever. So because that is
like someone misses,
anything
like basically. You know, like if you played with someone you didn't know very well, and they miss like a volley on top of the net, and you're like, next time. Like Mark McGrath misses that volley and turns around to me, and I'm like, that's fucking shit, mate.
Oh, I know.
And he's
I've
just
seen
like,
that.
That's the thing, how have you But I'm getting it back as well. I'll miss a backhand return, and I'll cross and miss, and Mark will turn around and go, "You can't cross for the rest of the match."
Oh, rather than away,
like,
man.
what?
That was my worst match ever, and I was playing with Cal.
Yeah, I nearly got banned from tennis.
No, but it's all. Do you know what? I wouldn't say. You see, like,
man.
see in our tennis chat, like, you know, you have like body clocks, and you wake up. Oh, I always wake up 2 minutes before my alarm. I always look at my phone, and it's like 8 minutes past 10. I'm sure there'll be a Bruno rant in here by now. And then Callum and Bruno are talking about egos. I was better than you. I played Andy Murray. That's my legacy. What's yours? Oh, unbelievable.
There's at least once a week on there, I think.
It's so good.
It's been too long, so we had to have a little scrap.
Yeah, I think to wrap it up here, what we should do is let's put up a poll or like a question on Instagram and Twitter, X, sorry, and tell us all of your like most heel or scrap, like big scrap, because we are not. Let's do it. Cards on the table. We are not tennis podcasters. We are 5 blokes who love tennis. This is what we want to hear is the bad side of tennis, because that's what's going to make it more fun for people.
Yeah.
Give us the chat, man. This is exactly what we want.
Yeah, so the real amateur side of it. What actually happens?
We should do like a tennis phone in.
Yeah.
Ross P. That's money.
Yeah, I'll look at that as well.
Lads, we're 30 minutes into a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, so well.
I'll probably have to call it a day at that.
Yeah, I'm happy.
What an effort. Last minute, Colin. And we will be back again next week.
Who's Colin?
Hopefully, I think we're changing the way the podcast is going. We're just talking fucking bollocks the whole time.
Yeah, it's so much better. This is how we did. Remember our original days doing this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I don't care who wins Doha and stuff like that.
No,
because I was looking at it today, I was like, I had no idea who won. I looked on Instagram, Felix won a tournament today, and I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Don't tell Skinny.
Yeah, I know, but that's what we were.
I think we changed the name. Loosely Strung's done. We'll go some controversial name now, so people know what we're here for.
Well, loosely, because we are sort of loosely strung, if you know what I mean, like
loosely
in the head
tennis.
a wee bit where we're on it.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure, folks. Boys, I'll see you at some point. Bye.